Hey guys, Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, we're going to be talking about some more rumors and discussion regarding what Rockstar is going to do later this year in the biggest heist update ever, taking place in an entirely new location. So I think the heist thing is pretty straightforward. What's not so straightforward is what the entirely new location is going to be about. And I have speculated, others have speculated, that this might be an entirely new location altogether, like another Grand Theft Auto City, where others have tried to be a bit more conservative and just say that it's going to be another area or building on the map. Well, today we're going to talk about what I believe could be the most logical thing for Rockstar to do, as well as the most happy medium. Now, I don't know if you guys have been following the GTA forum site as much as I have in the next DLC discussion thread. There's been a lot of rumors and reports and logos getting changed and hints getting dropped that Rockstar is going to make this heist take place on a new sort of island, if you can see my air quotes. And this island would be an extension of the current map. However, it would be a permanent fixture. Or at least it would be a permanent fixture during the heist, although that would kind of be weird if the island or whatever this new map expansion is there during the heist and then not during free roam. So I would imagine that Rockstar would honestly have to make it permanent altogether. So it would be unlike the aircraft carrier, which only shows up for the business battle. This thing would be here permanently. And again, I'm not going to go into the weird logos that have been changed and the weird cryptic clues that players have been dropping. But so far, the focus has now sort of shifted to an entirely different map, to Rockstar expanding what they already have, which I think logically makes the most sense. It's exciting enough, it's new enough, but doesn't require a ton of work like putting the entire map of Liberty City into the game would take. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 3 examples that I found over the last couple of days that should give you a good idea on how something like this could ultimately work, the size and the scale and what Rockstar might ultimately do. So here's the first example right here, and essentially what we're looking at is the Grand Theft Auto 5 map. And then, obviously, in the far south, kind of where the aircraft carrier spawns now, you have this massive island. And honestly, the island is about as big as the entire city of Los Santos, at least width-wise. Height-wise, Los Santos might be a little bit denser, but you guys get the idea. And this is just one fan-created example right here. This is obviously not done directly by Rockstar. But you guys can see there just how big of an island that is. It looks like on the sort of southeastern side, it looks like you've got the main city, but you have this super highway of roads and little back paths and smaller cities that are tucked away on the entire island itself. And this is super cool because who knows what Rockstar might be able to hide in here, what secrets they could add, what new Easter eggs. Obviously, it'll be cool to see if the heist itself brings about new characters, if these characters live on this island. Let's say it's like a private resort or something like that, or a private island. That would be incredible. And what's crazy about this is Rockstar could actually tie this in to a real-life island. So I don't know if you guys know what Santa Catalina Island is. It's basically a rocky island off the coast of Southern California, very close to Los Angeles. Now, not a lot of people actually live on this island. In fact, back in 2010, there were just over 4,000 people that actually lived there. But as you guys can see from some of the photos that I'm showing you, it is like a very wealthy private island. There's yachts and boats and resorts. It looks like a place you would go to celebrate and have a ton of fun. And that honestly is something that Rockstar could do with a place like this. And it would fit the geography not only of real life, but also of Los Santos, which would make it easy for Rockstar to explain, how this island suddenly popped up. Maybe they could incorporate the newly featured yachts and say the only way to get to this island is if you have a yacht. So that might have been why Rockstar did what they did in this update, the Los Santos Summer Special, to continually to encourage you to have yachts, because you might end up needing them to ultimately get to this little private island, if indeed that's what Rockstar does in the winter update coming later this year. So that, again, is just the first example right there, but gives you a good idea of what Rockstar could be up to. The next example, again, roughly the same, except this time, instead of the island being in the southeastern part of the map, you have the island that is in the northwestern part of the map. And this one is obviously a little bit smaller, but you still get the idea of what's going on here. It looks like there is, at least one big town, one big harbor, and then the rest of the island would probably be inhabited by smaller roads, smaller little cities, lots of wilderness to explore. I'm sure wherever the island is located, whatever the size is, Rockstar are going to incorporate some fun stuff on there, whether that's Easter eggs or secrets or just things to do and explore. Because adding an island like that is probably pretty easy. We'll actually hear from TezFunds2 a little bit later on how Rockstar could make that work. And they would want to make it worth people's time. They wouldn't just want to make it like empty and void, because otherwise you would just have a ton of people going there on day one, and then after that, almost no one would be willing to check it out. So that's the second example right there. And the third example is this one right here, which is incredible. And as you guys can see, it gives us an idea of how multiple islands could be added. Now, on the surface, you might be saying, well, it looks like there's only 2 of them there. If you look even closer, it looks like there's another tiny one to the north, and it looks like there's maybe a teeny one on the southeast as well. And this is pretty cool because both of these islands have different layouts to them. The one in the top looks like it's a bit more industrial, a bit more of a city. It looks like it has a small little runway and airport too. Whereas the one towards the south, definitely a bit more of like a Lost Island resort sort of vibe. That's what I'm getting. Now, in my personal opinion, I think this layout would be the best, where you have multiple different islands. Not only do I think it looks better aesthetically, like it balances the sort of map, because I think if you just had one, it would just be like all 30 players in the lobby going to one island, and that could get a little bit messy. But definitely let me know in the comments down below, of the 3 that we have looked at, which one do you think would be the most interesting and the one that Rockstar would ultimately pull off? Now, the last thing we'll be hearing from today is Insider TezFunds2, who actually discussed the idea of something like this working. So someone said, but in basic free roam with 30 players, wouldn't that be more disastrous than the casino? If you have 10 players on that island that's really far away, but 20 other players on the mainland and the game's trying to process VIP work, challenges, sale missions all at the same time, isn't the engine going to crap itself? And he said, I hardly think that's the problem. With another user saying, wouldn't this approach of compartmentalization give the engine an easier time? I know they've said they don't want to split up the game's population, or words to that effect, but would they rather go back on that like they went back on never making another heist update after the first one, and that there'd be story mode DLC in 2014 and 2015, or continue to flood the map of Los Santos with free roam activities upon free roam activity until the engine's performance is finally shot to hell? And TezFunds2 says, I don't think free roam activity is an issue. It's more about the whereabouts of this new location on the map. It should be placed, as you said, far away from the mainland, giving the game enough time to reduce the mainland LODs to the lowest levels. Then it's all about preserving the performance at appropriate levels. I kind of make it sound easy, but it's not, and more likely there is more than that to it. So just going off of what TezFunds2 ended up saying there, if Rockstar does take this approach, I think there's a good chance that this island will be far away. Like, you probably won't be able to see it from the mainland, and you won't be able to see the mainland if you're on the island. Because remember, this game was built for the Xbox 360 and PS3, at least its engine and coding was, all the way back in 2013. So there's obviously been a lot of technological improvements that have happened since then, but Rockstar haven't been able to appropriately implement them in Grand Theft Auto Online. So honestly, this would be so cool, and I would be stoked if this is what Rockstar had planned for the winter update. I'd say the only thing I wouldn't be too excited about is if it was just in a new location on the map. But if we were to get like a new piece of land, like an island, that would be ridiculously cool. Like, I'm starting to think of all the things that Rockstar could do there, the new characters that they could introduce. It would just be awesome. So, of course, let me know what you guys are thinking in those comments down below. Again, which of the 3 island possibilities did you think looked the best? I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and Red Dead Redemption videos that I'm doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.